Yo,
What it do?
what are we doing today?
Today we're gonna make some potato chips. Ape chips. Ape chips. We're gonna use russet potatoes. The reason why I use russet potatoes is I'm just used to using russet potatoes. Specifically, we're gonna use russets because most people have russet potatoes in their house. They're easy to find, they're very cheap, and they'll be good and delicious. But first, let's wash these potatoes. So yeah, you wanna rinse off your potatoes always, just because potatoes grow on the ground. They grow in dirt, and you don't wanna eat dirt. That's it. So now we're gonna cut these potatoes into our chips. I don't know why I did this. Into our chips. This is easier if you use what's called a mandolin. It's like the vegetable slicing, cutting, like almost like a board. But since we don't have that right now, we're just gonna use our knife. You want to try and cut them all the same size, just so that they cook a little more evenly when you go to fry them. All right, we're gonna par cook these potatoes in boiling water. Just swirl them around. Make sure that you don't have too many of the chips like stacked on each other, or else the water's not gonna get to all the chips. Like a stack of cards, the water's gonna be hotter on the outside, so you want to make sure they're all kind of fanned out and not like this. So we're gonna let these cook in here for about, I don't know, like 2 minutes. They'll start to look a little translucent. So they look pretty much part cooked. They're all like translucent, much different than this potato. You can like see through it. It's cooked like probably 50% of the way, more than 50%, but this is kind of where we want it. Our potatoes look good now. They're nice and part cooked. We're gonna empty this water. Cool, now let's go fry these. So usually when I make chips, throw them in one at a time, or a couple of chips at a time. You want to fry like 325 degrees. We're just going by feel right now. Just make sure you have a thermometer to check your temperature. So we're gonna blanch these in oil for a little bit. We're using the same idea as the water. So they cooked a little bit again. We're gonna pull them out. And it's like another part cook. Part cooking them in oil, or blanching them again in oil, is gonna make sure that they come out really nice and crispy. So again, we just cooked them for about, I don't know, 30, like a minute or so. I'll let these hang out for another like minute, and then we're gonna fry it one more time. Because if the potato's not cooked all the way, you won't get a crispy potato. So we're gonna wait like 2 or 3 minutes.
So you can actually eat one right now?
You're good.
That's pretty nice.
Yep. But it still tastes like potato, right?
Yeah. And how did you learn how to make potato chips?
Just by trial and error.
Did you ever burn potato chips?
Yeah, for sure. Like I never used to blanch them first. I used to just go in there thinking that potato chips will just magically turn into potato chips. But that's not true at all. Alright. Thank you. Cool. Now we're gonna go back in here for our second fry. And you'll know they're done when they're nice and golden brown. The oil you want to use for deep frying anything, you want to use a neutral oil, which means it doesn't have a lot of flavor, or zero flavor, because whatever you fry it in, it's going to end up tasting like that oil. So you want to use vegetable oil, canola oil, or peanut oil, sunflower oil, rice oil works. I usually use rice oil where I work. Don't use olive oil because it has a lower smoking point, which means at a higher temperature, it will burn much faster. And neutral oils have a much higher smoking point, so you can bring them up to a higher temperature without them burning. Today we're using vegetable oil.
Is it easy to burn potato chips?
Yeah, that's why you don't want to go too high. And using fresh oil is always good. And the other reason why I said to use a mandolin is that it's pretty important to be able to cut the chips all the same size. Like I used that knife and we did it kind of quickly. Like this potato chip is a little bit thicker than the other one, so it takes a little longer to cook. And like one side is more cooked than the other because the browner side is a little bit thinner, so it cooks a little different. But yeah, they're crispy. And at this point, you can add whatever you want. Salt. People have like cheese powders, like garlic powder, onion powder. But we're just gonna use salt and pepper. All right, let's try it. Pretty good. Hit that. Right?
Oh my god, that's so good.
It's very easy to do. And then now you can start your own potato chip company, or you know, instead of going out buying like potato chips or like the small bags or what, like $1.69. We bought this potato for 79 cents. This potato can make like 4 of those bags, and you can customize it however you want. You can have whatever flavors. You can have like chili flakes. You could even toss it with like chili oil or something like that. Garlic oil to make like garlic chips. It's like a blank canvas. You can even add fresh herbs to this, like chop up like dill or something. And that's how you make ape chips.
What? Hey, who are you?
I don't know. The test guy.
What's the worst potato chip you've ever had?
Lay's came out with like they're like doing all these crazy new flavors. They have like a Korean barbecue flavor. Sucks.